All right, let's go.
Welcome, everyone. We've got Jeremiah here, longtime friend. He's built a lot of different tech tools, software for the industry. Today, we're going to be talking about AI, where we're at with AI, how to show up better because of AI, using AI. It's a lot of it. We should just call it AI plus more AI. Jeremiah, that's the name of the webinar.
You know, Tristan, where I grew up, we called that I.
Ay. That's so funny. Did you grow up in San Diego? What's going on?
Look, I grew up in South Texas, man, right on the Mexico border.
Nice. That's funny. Yeah, that's very funny. For those of you who don't know Jeremiah, he's had an amazing journey in real estate, not only as a real estate agent in the real estate world, doing many different things there, but also on the tech side, software development, working for some amazing companies. And now he's built something called BrokerBot, which we'll take a look at so you can see the power of it. But first, I want you to help us with AI in showing up better and maybe giving me and us just the temperature of where we're at with AI.
Okay, we can do that. Where we're at with AI. You know, I spoke at an event yesterday and there was like 1,200 people at this thing. And we asked the question of like, how many of you are like using AI actively? How many of you are nervous about it? And I was actually really surprised that like half the room's hands went up of like, I haven't really dug into it. I'm pretty nervous about it. And I'm like, dude, the real estate industry as a whole is interesting. If you look at, I was reading some stats actually, Tristan. If you look at Fortune 500 companies, their like number 2 line item in their budget is for AI spend. So it displaced office space as like the number 2 line item. And something like 93% of the Fortune 500 have said that AI is like a top 5 priority for them for 2026. And then when you look into like adoption, right? Like these guys are like 80 to 90% adoption rates of AI across their organizations. Then you like double click that down to SMBs and it's like 70 to 80%. And then you like double click that down to real estate industry. And I want to hear you guess. What is your guess for the adoption rate of artificial intelligence in the real estate industry?
Is that taking into consideration agents or just brokerages?
The industry as a whole.
Oh, man. Well, you started off by already kind of telling me, but originally I for sure thought like 60%, at least 60% of all agents were already playing with AI. That was my first thought.
Yeah. So this stat is old. It's from last September when I gave this talk. 8%.
No.
As in single digit. 8%.
That's crazy, man.
Dude, our industry is so far behind, man.
I thought our industry was ahead. What's going on?
No. Our industry is super far behind.
Wow.
And look, here's the thing I'll tell you. Like we started this BrokerBot journey a year ago now.
I remember.
In the last year, I've talked to 200 brokerages across the US. And some of these are like the most sophisticated brokers in the US. A lot of them get it and they're trying to figure this out and they're actively working on it. When we talk to those people, I don't even have to sell them a thing. They're like, oh, you built the thing that I knew somebody should build. Thank you. Can I buy it?
That's pretty much it. I know that.
For the other like 50% or 70% of the world, they're like, well, so what do I do with it? And I'm like, okay, well, let's take a time out. Pretend I'm a reasonably smart human and I was going to come work for you. And I showed up at your office today. What would you have me do? And I get the same answer that they're like, well, gosh, I don't know. What do you know how to do? And I'm like, okay, so the real problem is that you don't understand your pain points that you can delegate.
Yeah.
So let's figure those out. And then we'll figure out what you can do with AI. So that's probably my like top level 1,000-foot overview of AI is you're in an era of technology where the limit of the technology is not the technology, it's your imagination. So that was a 4-minute long answer to your question of where are we at with AI.
Well, I think people needed to hear that whole thing because Dude, that's a really low percentage. And on top of that, I think that's where we start with coaching in general, which is like you want to coach, but you don't know what you want the coach for, except I want to get to $500,000 a year. But let's reverse into it, right? And that's what you're doing here with AI. It's like, wait a second, let's get your pain points first. And
Yeah.
let's start with what your strengths are, maybe, and then fill those gaps with AI. And that's why I love BrokerBot so much, because you're evolving it too. You're not only hitting my pain points, you're hitting everything else in between, man.
Yeah. We've done some really cool stuff, but I gotta build up to like why people should buy BrokerBot, because the number one question I get is like, how's this different from ChatGPT? Which we'll answer that before the end of this webinar. But what I promised you when we agreed to do this was that I would put together like a one slide, and I call this the right tool for the job. Now, I put together a bonus thing, which we talked about for a minute, which is how can we help agents get found by AI?
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to talk about this, the right tool for the job thing for a minute. And so I'm going to put up this one slide.
All right.
And let me see if I can screen share slides and PDFs.
Once you have it there, I'll bring it in.
Share screen.
And once you're doing that, I'll invite a couple of people. What's up, Leslie? I'm glad you made it through Facebook if you got in, or through the webinar. Nancy, what's up? Irvine, oh, you're not too far from me. That's nice to see you here. Oklahoma City, that's a nice place. Is it cold over there right now? What am I looking at?
I think it's really cold. The right side of this are foundational models that I think every realtor or broker, whoever, should know what they are and be using them in their business probably every day. The left side are two tools that are not BrokerBot that I'm really excited about. So let's talk about the right side. There are each of these artificial intelligence models, they have different strengths and weaknesses. And so a lot of times what I like to say is ChatGPT is like the hammer. And people, not agents, try to use the hammer for everything. So like if I was trying to build a house, could I use a hammer to build the entire house? Sure. Would it be weird? Would it be effective? Would it be kludgy? Also, yes. Like it would be ineffective, it'd be weird, it would be kludgy. I would want skill saws and framing saws and all sorts of different things, right? And so a lot of this is about knowing what are the strengths and weaknesses of these models. So let me take you through these. So number one is Perplexity. Perplexity is my research partner. What Perplexity does, and is the best in the world at, is doing research on the internet and bringing that research together for you in a really simple format. All of these models have multiple tiered subscriptions, and most of them have a free subscription. So Perplexity has a free model. Spend $20, spend $200. So they have a 20 and a 200 for Perplexity. I'm on the $20 Perplexity one. So like when I have a question about, hey, I'm in this new city, what are some good restaurants? Hey, how do I do this? What's the zoning code for that? Anything that's like internet research, Perplexity is my research partner, okay? Number two is ChatGPT. ChatGPT, my observation of it is that algorithmically, it is more wired to be a social media tool than it is a technical tool. Meaning the algorithmic bias, which every algorithm has bias, that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just the reality. The algorithmic bias is to get me to use the product more. So if you notice, like if you go to ChatGPT and you're like, hey, what color is the sky? And it's like, well, the sky is blue. And you're like, no, it's actually not blue. It's red. It'll be like, oh, that's amazing. You're right. The sky is red. I must have missed that, like Mercury's in retro, right? And it'll just agree with you. And you can like tint it by just telling it different things. To me, ChatGPT is a really good thought partner, okay? ChatGPT has a voice mode. That voice mode is like, I call and I talk to it a lot. I call BrokerBot and I talk to it a lot of just like, hey, I got a thing I'm trying to put together. Like maybe I have a client. The client is like this. They think that way. They're an engineer. They have this house and like, I need to figure out how to say this to them and put together a marketing plan like that. And it just gives you a way to like be expressive, and it'll help you translate those expressive thoughts into like something that's narrowed down and help you get started. It's really good at that. Number 3 is Gemini. Gemini is your G Suite partner. Now, if you're like me and you hadn't used Gemini since they released Gemini 3 and Nano Banana Pro, you are totally missing the boat on what's possible with Gemini. The latest iteration of Gemini Pro, which you're going to spend $50 a month on, which, by the way, going back to ChatGPT, at least get the $20 a month one, because if you're on the free one, everything you put in there becomes training material for the next iteration of the model, and you have no way to turn it off. So you need to pay for the $20 one so you can tell them not to share your data. So make sure you have that one and that you turn off the data sharing so it doesn't become training material. Okay.
Perfect.
Back to Gemini's thing. Get the $40 a month one. The $40 a month one is going to give you some Nano Banana Pro credits, some VO3 credits, and it's going to give you Gemini Pro. The new Gemini Pro is really good at looking across like your Google Drive, everything that's in there, analyzing things. But the coolest part to me about the Gemini one is Nano Banana Pro. The image model is amazing. Now, spoiler alert, we pulled that into BrokerBot and then we wrapped it with our BrokerBot thinking model. Dude, like virtual staging all day long, super baller with terrible prompts. It's great. That model's great. When you combine it with our thinking model, it's really good. Last one is Claude. I want you to think about Claude as your technical partner. You need to review contracts. You need to do math. Look at like an LOI for an apartment building. Claude is by far and away the best at this. So at our company, we have 2 machine learning data scientists on the team. They use what are called machine learning evals, where we have test cases that we run thousands of times through these models so that we can evaluate the performance of the different models and benchmark them against each other. What I can tell you is that historically, the ChatGPT models, when you give them a complex multi-page PDF, aka a real estate contract, they're going to miss as much as like 40% of the key details. Whereas like Anthropic Sonnet 4.5, which you have to pay $200 a month to get, or by BrokerBot, and we embedded inside of it, is like 93 to 95% accurate. And so the key here is like, if you're going to go do this yourself, you need to pay attention to what these models do really well and what they don't. And by the way, it changes every time they update the models. And you need to use the right tool for the job. And you need to use the paid versions of it. Because otherwise, I've seen agents do this where they're like, hey, I got multiple offers. I threw it in ChatGPT. ChatGPT kicked it back to me. I presented that to my seller. We accepted the deal based on that. And then when my broker reviewed the file, they brought to my attention this term that I didn't realize because I just relied on ChatGPT and I didn't actually read the contract.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, weird, right? Like I know no realtor that you know, Tristan, would ever not read the contract.
That's funny, man. That is crazy.
All right, so that's my like right tool for the right job spiel. Did that make sense?
100%, man. I love this. This is good. Everyone should take a snapshot of this.
Yeah, I'll send it to you too. You can send it out.
Perfect. And then
we can
go over, because I have the tools on the left. I use those, have partnership with them. Go over both of those, Rejig and Flow.
Okay. Whisper Flow is probably the single most like used tool on my computer. It allows me to hold down one key and then just like talk at my computer. It's mega accurate, like all the way up to 200 words a minute. And so anytime, as you're using these AI tools, the better prompt you give it, the better output you get. And so by being able to just naturally voice prompt it and like hold the key down and just blah, 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 it's amazing. It's like $10 or something. Tristan, I'm sure you have a code so that people can get, it's like you're crazy if you're actually a business person, you don't use Whisper Flow. It also like, I don't know, have you installed the phone app from them?
I have, dude. I use it because now it can go into everything, and I can talk to it instead of just typing things in. It's the best.
Yeah. That one's a game changer. Rejig. Look, I'm the worst social media person on the planet. It's like you and I are the opposite ends of the spectrum. Like I lurk, I don't post. Like I probably go on social media 15 minutes a week. I'm just terrible at it. What Rejig does is I onboard to Rejig, I make an AI avatar of myself, and then I tell them where I'm at. Rejig's technology will like scour local data to find relevant events. And then it'll have my AI avatar do like that lower third video style where I'm talking about like, hey, this weekend is Diplo's fun run in the park. You should come check it out. And then it just like auto posts them for me to my social media.
I'm just going to show you. How's that? One of my, because
do it.
Partnership with both. This one's easy to show because it works very, very well. And it's so easy. It's on Instagram. So this one's from Matt Whitty in Boston. And this is one he posted. I'm just going to show you my screen. This one got almost 100,000 views, and it's AI generated. That's not really Matt Whitty at the bottom, but this is what it's going to sound like. Let me know if you can hear this when I press play, Jeremiah.
Bought the Royal Crest Estates for $254 million.
Can you hear it or no? All right, perfect.
Yeah, we're good.
Campus. The deal instantly reshapes housing in North Andover. President Christopher Hopi led a coalition.
So everything that you watch there, AI created, including Matt Whitty, that's him. And then this one got 862 likes, all about the community. It outlined this for him. Everything was done automatically. So that's what Jeremiah was talking about there.
Yeah. So there's a good side and a bad side to Rejig. The good side is I will do social media with Rejig because I don't actually have to do social media. And I know there's a lot of you that are like me. The bad side is it's not going to help your GEO, right? Because all of these AI tools are looking and like in the, call it code of that video, we can see that it's AI generated. And so it's not going to get ranked. So will it help with your engagement? Will it help you stay in front of people? Will it help you stay relevant? 100%. It is not going to help you get more leads from ChatGPT or these other AI search engines. Would you agree with that, Tristan?
Oh, 100%. It will, if you're consistent though, it will help you grow your channel because it's relevant, and then you can do business from that, but you won't do the other thing that Jeremiah is about to show you.
Yeah, that's right. So let's talk about GEO, and we'll talk about this for like 10 minutes, I think.
Perfect.
This is the single biggest opportunity that you're going to have in the next 3 to 5 years to generate leads that doesn't cost you money. That's a pretty hot take, I think. So here's why. So we've all heard of SEO, search engine optimization. In the early 90s, you could go to your webpage and you could keyword stuff the heck out of your webpage and be like, best realtor, Tucson AZ, Tucson listing agent, right? And like people would just show up and people got mega rich from this. And then over time, the search engines got better, it got more competitive, it was harder to rank. You just got like a time machine back to the early 90s with GEO, where like now all these models, they need information. And if you're the provider of that information, guess what? You can rank. It's not like a forever free thing. Like they will get better, it'll get more competitive. But this is the only way that I know of, other than like social media, where you can start doing things on the internet and get leads for free in the next 60 to 90 days. So I'm not an expert at this. I'm learning. And anybody that tells you that they're an expert at this is full of it, because it is a mega evolving sport. So what I did is I put together a guide of what I've learned so far, okay? There's 6 key things, and I'm going to share my screen again, and I think you're going to have to approve it again.
Yep. Let's go.
There's 6 key things that I'm going to put up on the screen here. Number one is called NAP consistency and identity verification. NAP is name, address, phone number. That simple. If you've been in real estate any period of time, you've probably moved brokerages, you've changed your license, you've changed your name, you've changed your phone number, you've changed your address. You have to remember, AI is a probabilistic system, meaning it looks for repetition and consistency. So if your name is Tristan A in one place and Tristan Omada in another place, those are two different people as far as AI goes.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to the machine and say like, hey, I want you to go scour the internet, Zillow, Realtor, Redfin.com, Better Business Bureau, my licensing websites, my broker's website, my website, Fast Effective Agents, Agent Pronto, everywhere that my name exists on the internet. And I want to see how many different iterations of my name, my address, and my phone number exist on the internet. Now, I'm pretty nerdy, and I thought I was going to do this and be like, I'll bet you I'm nailing it. Dude, not even close. Not even close.
That makes sense.
We don't realize how many other sites publish our information that we don't even give them permission to. They're just doing like realtor directories, and they're mega wrong and out of date. So number one is do that audit. Spoiler alert, if you go to brokerbot.ai/getfound, you can download this thing, and we give you a mega prompt that you can either put into BrokerBot or ChatGPT Pro if you have the Pro version, and it will go like do this for you. So number one is your name, address, phone audit. Number two.
Wait. Jeremiah, where do people go to? Can you repeat that, please?
BrokerBot.ai/getfound.
Got it.
Which yesterday I said that from stage, and somebody came up and they said, "Did you say get felt?" And I said, "No, get found, not felt."
Found.
Found. Found.
Good distinction.
So number two is machine-friendly bio framework. What you have to remember is AI looks for proof, not content. So proof means Jeremiah Taylor is the best realtor in Catalina Foothills because he gets the best list to sales price ratio, blah, 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 blah. And then I've got data to back that up. Okay. Now, if I try to say Jeremiah Taylor is the best realtor in Los Angeles, very unlikely that I'm going to win that. But if I say I'm the best realtor in the, blah, blah, blah Gables neighborhood of Brentwood because I've sold 26 houses and no other agent has sold as many as me. And then I can also go to Zillow, and on Zillow, it's going to show that like Jeremiah sells more houses in this neighborhood than anybody else.
Dude.
You are taking your winnable game and you are putting a megaphone behind that so that anytime somebody starts to ask generative around those things, you're going to get the mention. Okay. So number three is you have to have a review strategy that AI is going to trust. So that means two things. Number one, if you've sold 2,000 homes in your Zillow profile and you have 12 reviews, there's a disconnect.
There is.
Right? Or if you have 500 reviews and you've sold 12 homes, there's a disconnect. And so...
but at least that one sounds better.
It sounds a little bit better, I guess. But it also sounds a little fake. And so think about it like it should be equivalent. Like if you sold 1,000 homes, you should probably have a couple hundred reviews. And those reviews shouldn't just be on Zillow or just Google or just Rate My Agent. They should be everywhere, and they should all have the same messaging. And the messaging should be the same message you're trying to rank for. So meaning, Tristan was a great agent. He helped us buy our house in the blah, blah, blah Gables neighborhood of here. We hired him because he sells more houses here than anybody else. If you're thinking of buying or selling in this neighborhood, you should 100% call Tristan. All this means is that instead of just saying, hey, would you write me a review? You're going to say, hey, there's a really specific thing that I'm looking to rank for. I've pre-written a review. If you think that it's viable for you, please, would you mind posting it on these different sites? Please feel free to add to it. And if you think I didn't do a great job or I didn't deliver, obviously don't lie, right? But it's like, it's helped the customer tint their review with those keywords that are going to match and help drive your GEO, okay? Number four, we already started to talk about it. It's who, what, where. So who is getting ranked, what are they getting ranked for, and where the geolocation. Really simple framework. 5, content that's focused on proof. So recency, relevance, this isn't like keyword stuffing type stuff. You got to go figure out what your winnable game is that you can tell the world about, that has proof behind it, right?
Yep.
And so that's what the AI algorithms are looking for, is proof. And then they're looking for how many reputable sources tell me about this same proof in this same way. And so that's where you're putting it on social, you're talking about it in YouTube, it's, you're doing it on your blog, on your website, it's in your reviews. You may even decide you want to do a press release and go to PR Newswire and push this out to a bunch of press sites. And Tristan, you remember back in the day, we used to tell everybody to do press releases, and then it was like a waste of time. Guess what? They're relevant again.
That's crazy, because that's where it's pulling the information from for this. So
yeah, that's right. So if you go to this website, and I know the URL is different here, but it's brokerbot.ai/get-found. You fill out the thing. Our team will email you the guide, and we'll send you like a couple of emails over a few weeks so that you can get that all dialed in. Any questions?
No, Cheryl did put it on here. So if you missed it, it's the last comment there. Let me just switch over to us. So then when we're looking at BrokerBot on the back end, show us some magic, buddy. Show us how that looks.
Right.
Show us why we should be using it.
All right, I can do that. I'm going to share my screen again. And sorry for going on and off my screen so many times. Like, this is our platform. Our platform has a really simple thesis behind it. All of those leading models that I've told you about, our software engineers have determined what are those models good at, what are they not good at. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to become an AI expert to be able to leverage our platform. And so I'm going to give you a really simple example. I'm going to upload a thing and I'm going to ask a question. And so the question that I'm going to ask is just, can I park an RV here? Okay. Now, of course, hang on, there we go. Can I park an RV here? Upload some CCNRs, okay? Mm-hmm. A bunch of you have probably done this in ChatGPT. When you try to upload this, what's going to happen is the machine's going to try to read this and it's going to freak out, because this is not OCRable. Like, you'll see when it's trying to OCR it right now. When I do that, like, it thinks these are all one word, that's a word, that's a word. It's a mess. Well, what happens is if you go do this in ChatGPT, it's just going to tell you, like, there is no answer to this. In our world, what happens is our machine goes, okay, we know there's 1 or 2 models that can extract this, Mistral and Claude Sonnet 4.5. So it's going to call that model for you. And then it's going to figure out from my terrible prompt, what did I ask it to do? And it's going to give me the right answer. And it's going to be correct. But now the next thing is our machine has a bunch of tools wired into it. So I can say, hey, thanks, that's really helpful. Can you send me a text message with a text version of this I can forward to my client? Yeah. A lot of you are going to go like, well, yeah, I can do that in ChatGPT. And it'll give me like a textable summary. Our machine actually has the ability to send the text. So what you're going to see is it's going to think about this. It's going to write it in the text summary. Then it's going to call a tool and it's going to text it to me live. And so there you go. It thought about it. It's preparing the SMS. It sent the SMS and it's going to show up on my phone here in just a second. Bingo. There it is. I got it. Now I can just forward that to my client. But then we integrate with your Gmail, your Google Calendar, your Microsoft Outlook. So now I can say, actually, I need to email this to Tristan also. His email is tristana@gmail.com, I think. Check my Google contacts. You'll find him in there, and then draft the email to him. And what you'll see is it's going to start calling tools to search my Google contacts. And so you're here, look, Gmail search people. It's going to go find Tristan. Okay, great. It may or may not find him. Oh, what do you know? I found him. There you go. It wrote it. There's the email. Here's what's going on. And then so I can just say, rock and roll, send it. And so now I can actually send that email to Tristan. So what we have built is one unified platform that brings all of the best-in-class AI models together, and then we stitch it into your life, your email, your calendar, all your documents, your policies, your procedures, the way your team or your brokerage works. So like, Tristan, you just got that email from me. It should be in your inbox. But then we have unified all that across a chat widget that can live on your website, an integration with Slack so that you can hook up to your Slack and you can use it within Slack, a phone number so that you can literally call on the phone and say, yo, BrokerBot, I just got a call from a client. They want to list their house over here. Can you run some comps for me and show me the last 3 things that were on the market? Great. Email those to me. You can text with BrokerBot, and then you can always use it on the web. So I've done this demo now for a couple hundred people. I did it recently for one of the people that is in charge of AI innovation at the National Association of Realtors. And his feedback to me was, Jeremiah, what you just showed me, I've seen no less than 35 slide decks that promise to do this. Yes. This is the first and only time that I've actually seen this work in real life in production. So that's BrokerBot. There's a lot more I can do. Like, it can be your transaction coordinator, picture, drop a PDF in, hey, extract all the key dates, email my client, put all those dates in my calendar. It takes seconds and it will move your life massively faster. We just released our individual version. So if you're a broker, you can buy this for your agents, but we just released our individual pro version yesterday. So if you're an individual agent, you just want to do this, you're going to pay $249 a month for BrokerBot. And if all you did was go buy ChatGPT Pro, Claude Pro, and Gemini, and Perplexity, you'd pay $449 a month just for those 4 models.
Damn. Okay.
You get all of them inside of our tool. You can do virtual staging plus all the other stuff I just showed you. Our team will do some training with you, help you become a pro and learn how to use this stuff. So hit us up. Happy to do a demo.
I think everyone should be on it, and our brokerage is on it. So if you're looking to do it individually, if you're looking as a brokerage, just both. If it's an option, just do it. And then a couple of people mentioned that the link, what was it? The original link wasn't working. The button wasn't working. But Hector just said brokerbot.ai/get-found might be the one that works. So let's take a look at that. The download button wasn't working, but it looks like it might be now. All right. Everyone, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. We'll put a recap on this, a short recap in the group. And then obviously this is recorded. So if you need to slow down, especially the beginning part when he was breaking down the different AI outlets, then we could do that too. Jeremiah just tested it. It works. Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure.